Let's get into, is this the time of the year that homeowners associations start having their annual meetings?
Yes, it is. As a matter of fact, a few of our clients have already had their annual meetings, but most of them fall during the fourth quarter of the year or the first quarter of the following year.
And what determines when the annual meetings are held?
Generally, it's specified in the association's bylaws. The bylaws are the operating document for the way the corporation works.
And in many cases, if a listener is curious as to whether or not their homeowners association can do what they're doing, would they always look at the bylaws for sort of a list of everything they can and cannot do and the timing of everything and how people vote? Would it all be in there?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
There's actually 3 documents: the Articles of Incorporation,
Okay.
which can be found on the Secretary of State's office
Okay.
website generally.
Okay.
The covenants, which are recorded at the county courthouse, and the bylaws, which, as I said, are the operating Bible for how the corporation works. And those 3 are all interconnected together. The bylaws may or may not be recorded, but
Got
the
it.
corporation would have a copy, and every association should be willing to give them to you.
Got
We
it.
keep them on our websites.
What's supposed to happen at an annual meeting? And then can members of the association make motions, meaning get something up on the table for the board to discuss by using what we used to use in the Johns Creek Community Association as Robert's Rules? Talk to us about that.
Well, interestingly enough, there are not a lot of things members can do at the annual meeting. I know a lot of homeowners go to annual meetings or go to their condominium association meetings, and they think that there's going to be this grassroots governance. But associations, as I mentioned, are corporations.
Yes.
And most of the bylaws are set up in a way that provides that the board of directors is the party that exercises authority in terms of how the association works.
Okay.
And so there's a few limited things that homeowners can do, but a homeowner cannot go to an annual meeting, make a motion that we fire the landscaper. If you're distressed about something that's occurring in your neighborhood, the way to do that is to approach the board of directors and actually ask them if you can speak to them at a board meeting.
Oh, okay.
That would be the normal venue to bring up grievances or improvements or any concerns or ideas you have about your community.
Yes.
The annual meeting has a very restricted amount of business that can be conducted. And in actuality, some bylaws specifically outline what can happen at an annual meeting. Almost every board either has a prescribed public comment or public forum during their board meeting, or if you just contact them or their management company and say, I'd like to be put on the agenda at the next board meeting, I want to talk about the landscaper, the board, almost all boards will be reasonable and they will say, well, we'll allocate 5 or 10 minutes for you and you can
come on in,
say your piece and we'll talk to you about it. The people that are on boards are your neighbors.
Yes.
They are not ogres or tyrants.
Right.
Okay. They are volunteers that are paid a tremendous amount of money to be on the board of directors.
Nothing.
Oh, wait, that amount is nothing.
Right.
Exactly. They're
Right.
volunteers.
They're paid
unpaid.
nothing.
They're giving of their time, and
Right.
it's a lot of time typically.
It can be.
So they're us. The enemy is us. So it doesn't make sense to treat them in a hostile manner.
Yep.
And the other thing I find is that homeowners also often have a lot of misconceptions, and it's not that they're stupid. They just don't know.
Right.
And so they wade into an issue without really doing their homework, and they sometimes get irritated when they find out that the process doesn't work the way they think it does.
The way they want it
the
to.
discussion we just had is kind of a good example of that. Is homeowners come to annual meetings and think they're going to make motions, and then when it's explained, your bylaws don't allow for that.
Right.
They want to be mad at somebody. Well, the person who wrote the bylaws 10 years ago, that's the person to be mad at, and they're long gone.